gosh, this is actually a little scary. So last month I went to New York City. I was there mostly to celebrate two friends who were getting married, but I did do a couple of detours to bookstores, and I have a little bit of a haul. Bookstores were visited, sights were seen, and most importantly, friends were celebrated. So my plan upon landing was just to be in air conditioning as much as possible. So I went first to McNally Jackson, and this was the location in Brooklyn, kind of in a mall. It's a gorgeous location. It's like labyrinthian. It was massive, just giant walls of books. There was so much to see, and I didn't really feel like browsing every single shelf. And usually what I do in a large bookstore like that is I kind of navigate through the little curated sections, like on tables and little shelves and that kind of thing. So they had this summer reading matrix thing. The axes went from slim to epic and slow to fast. So I ended up picking Comedic Timing by Upasana Bharat. It's from 831 Stories, which I've been seeing a lot of around recently. But it was advertised in the Matrix as bisexuality into the city, and it just looks delightful. For Naina Rao, moving to NYC means a fresh start. She's officially entered her mid-20s, she's landed a steady job, she's broken up with her intensely passionate older girlfriend, and she's committed to hustling her way into a creative career. The city doesn't exactly embrace Naina with open arms, though. Not even her new boss or her new roommate seem to know what to make of her. It isn't until meeting David, an aspiring filmmaker, and his friends, that she starts to feel at home. But finding a connection with David makes Naina question everything she thought she knew about her place in the world. Does being open to a relationship with a man mean compromising her sexual identity and her sense of self? We'll find out. I also picked up this puzzle. It's a jigsaw puzzle about romanticism. Yeah, I needed this. I don't know what to tell you. So after McNally Jackson, I went to the Center for Fiction, which is also in Brooklyn, and they have an even bigger wall of books. I do wish their cafe and bar had been open that day, but there was a scheduled event there, so I couldn't just hang out there, unfortunately. It was very cool, and I can't wait to go back sometime. I picked up Evenings and Weekends by Ocean McKenna, and I've been eyeing this one for a while, and I was just kind of waiting for the paperback to come out. I probably won't end up reading it this summer, but it's a summer read for sure. I think the Jack Edwards Book Club is reading this. Summer in London stops for no one. Not the half-naked drunks and stoners, the bachelorette parties glugging from bejeweled bottles, the drag queens puffing on hurried cigarettes. It's June 2019. Temperatures are soaring and lives are about to change forever. There's Maggie, pregnant and on the verge of giving up her artsy London life for a heteronormative suburban one with her boyfriend Ed, a barely competent bike courier desperate to hide from Maggie, his secret habit of cruising train station bathrooms, and his past with Maggie's best friend Phil. Meanwhile, Phil is sorting out his feelings for a roommate who's in an open relationship with another man, while also dealing with a surprise visit from his mom, Rosaline, who has difficult news to share. As Saturday night approaches, all their secrets and tensions are about to come to a head. It's the hottest summer on record, and the weekend is about to begin. Strikingly heartfelt, sexually charged, and disarmingly comic, Oisin McKenna's debut is a mesmerizing dive into the soul of a city and a searing look at what it takes to build a life there. And at that point, I met up with my friends Jess and Raz, and we were staying at a hotel together, so we just hung out. While our friends were getting married, some of us went to You and Me Books, which I've been meaning to go to for years. After they opened, there was this massive fire and they had to rebuild everything, but the world came together, they were able to reopen, and it seems like they're doing pretty well. They had a great curation of books and like stickers and prints, and also like drinks, beers and seltzers and that kind of thing. I had this boozy tea that was really refreshing to just browse the bookstore with, and I asked the booksellers who were there, who were CJ and Teresa, who were absolutely lovely, and they directed me to What My Bones Know, a memoir of healing from complex trauma by Stephanie Fu. And Stephanie Fu is actually a regular at the bookstore, which is really lovely, and she signs books when she's there. And it says thank you, but spelled like you and me books. Hi, I forgot to read the the back cover of What My Bones Know, so I will do that now. By age 30, Stephanie Fu was successful on paper. She had her dream job as a producer at This American Life and a loving boyfriend. But behind her office door, she was having panic attacks and sobbing at her desk every morning. After years of questioning what was wrong with herself, she was diagnosed with complex PTSD, a condition that occurs when trauma happens continuously over the course of years. Both of Fu's parents abandoned her when she was a teenager, after years of physical and verbal abuse and neglect. She thought she'd moved on, but her new diagnosis illuminated the way her past continued to threaten her health, relationships, and career. She found limited resources to help her, so Fu sent out to heal herself. In this deeply personal and thoroughly researched account, Fu interviews scientists and psychologists and tries a variety of innovative therapies. She returns to her hometown in California to investigate the effects of immigrant trauma on the community, and she uncovers family secrets in the country of her birth, Malaysia, to learn how trauma can be inherited through generations. Powerful, enlightening, and hopeful, What My Bones Know reckons with the hold of the past over the present, the mind over the body, and examines one woman's ability to reclaim agency from her trauma. I think I just got caught up talking about the story behind how I got this, but looking forward to it very much. They specialize in Asian and Asian American literature, but it's not exclusive. So yeah, looks like an amazing neighborhood bookstore. Wish I lived there, but we'll definitely be going back when I can. I had such a fun time celebrating Nora and Nasser and meeting all of their loved ones, and it was just such a blast for these 2 big days full of activities, great chats, delicious food and drinks, beautiful people. Really determined to go to Sweet Pickle Books, which I have been to before. I went to, I think last time I was in New York visiting Nora, and I just really wanted to go. And the only time I could find to squeeze it in was before we had afternoon tea at the Baccarat, and so I had a little pickle quest to do. So yeah, I slipped away to stock up on pickles, and I got a jar of double dills. Ta-da! I didn't spill it. Oh, and there's little baby ones up at the top. Perfect. A little snack. I also got a book. I got One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. For cynical 23-year-old August, moving to New York City is supposed to prove her right, that things like magic and cinematic love stories don't exist, and the only smart way to go through life is alone. She can't imagine how waiting tables at a 24-hour pancake diner and moving in with too many weird roommates could possibly change that. And there's certainly no chance of her subway commute being anything more than a daily trudge through boredom and electrical failures. But then, there's this gorgeous girl on the train, Jane. Dazzling, charming, mysterious, impossible Jane. Jane with her rough edges and swoopy hair and soft smile, showing up in a leather jacket to save August's morning when she needs it most. August's subway crush becomes the best part of her day, but pretty soon she discovers there's one big problem. Jane doesn't just look like an old-school punk rocker. She's literally displaced in time from the 1970s, and August is going to have to use everything she tried to leave in her own past to help Jane. Maybe it's time to start believing in some things after all. And yeah, if you're planning on going to afternoon tea in New York City, the baccarat was really nice. It was obviously very fancy, but also the food was really good, and the tea was amazing. We kind of meandered towards Central Park for a bit, and at that point I got heat exhaustion. The group we were with, they were all very lovely and took very good care of me. But yeah, we went to Lady Blue for cocktails because we were going to see a show on Broadway after. They had really good truffle fries and halloumi fries at Lady Blue. And I wish I could have enjoyed it more. But I started feeling better and good because it was our last activity of the trip. And I saw Moulin Rouge. Yeah, the show's been on my radar since it was announced. Moulin Rouge is my comfort movie and has been since I was a preteen, I think. Yeah, the movie means a lot to me. It's what got me into musicals. It was one of the movies that my mom and I connected over. And yeah, I was really looking forward to trying to see it on this visit because Jordan Fisher was playing Christian. And he was amazing. Incredible performances, incredible set design. And yeah, I had a moment during the show where, or a few moments actually, where I got really emotional. I got really choked up, and at one point I just started actively crying. Yeah, I wish my mom had been there. She would have had some thoughts. I think she would have preferred the movie, but I saw it for the both of us. And yeah, really glad I went, and I did feel much better before the show started, and then as the show went along, I felt a lot better out of the heat and all. And then yeah, the next morning we had a very early train ride back to Montreal. It's a 14-hour train ride because it makes many, many stops. I think it's actually meant to be like 12 hours, but we had 2 hours worth of delays. And my plan originally was to finish reading all of Chelsea Girls, which was the book that I was reading on this trip, and then get into one of the books that I had just bought. But I think I just need to admit to myself that planes and trains, they just make me really sleepy. They kind of rock me to sleep. And so I can't really read books, and I can't even watch movies that well. I fall asleep in the middle. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't really be mad about that I'm so comfortable I fall asleep, but you know, that's a lot of time that I could be using to do things besides just zone out. But anyway, it was a lovely journey, a lot of really good views. I was traveling with Jess and Raz, and we made a little nest in a 4-seater. And yeah, really not crowded at all, especially as you get further up toward Montreal. Like, there's basically nobody on the train anymore. I did end up finishing reading Chelsea Girls after I returned from the trip. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good insight into Eileen Miles's life. It says it's a novel, but really it's kind of autofiction or a memoir told through short stories. And yeah, I felt like it didn't quite do the form of the novel or the memoir totally justice. And I could kind of tell which short stories had been published separately and successful as short stories. I liked reading the ones that hit, and then I was a little bored for the ones that didn't hit. But yeah, I think Miles is a better poet than a novelist, maybe, but I don't regret having read it. And then yeah, I passed it along to my friend Anna, who's gonna read it and report back with her thoughts. I hope this was a fun glimpse into a little trip. I do live in Canada, and I'm a dual citizen of Canada and the USA. And despite being a dual citizen, I'm really only going to the States for close family and friends at the moment. So you won't be seeing a lot of US travel content from me in the near future, but I hope this was enjoyable. If you are going to New York soon, or if you live there, these are evergreen statements, but support independent businesses, hug your friends, read good books. Yeah. Yeah. I'll see you again soon.